So our third class of first module, session 3 of first module. Okay, first module means DC generator. We are studying about DC generator. In the first class we studied about the working principle of a DC generator. Working of a DC generator. Working principle and its detailed working of a DC generator. In the second class we studied the various parts of DC generator. The third class, the EMFification of DC generator. Third class, EMFification of a DC generator. We know that DC generator consists of armature winding and field winding. Field winding provides flux. That flux cuts the armature winding of the rotor and any EMF is induced in the armature. That EMF has an alternating nature or AC nature. We have to rectify that generated AC into DC with the help of a commutator. So it is named as mechanical rectifier. We studied all these things in the previous class. This is our third class. So we know that an EMF is induced in the armature. How can we calculate the magnitude of that EMF? Or what is the EMF equation of a DC generator? How can we calculate the EMF induced in the armature of a DC generator? That means EMF equation of a DC generator. It's a derivation. Let phi is equal to flux per pole in Weber. Stator consists of field system. Field system consists of magnetic poles or magnetic poles. So pole core, pole body, pole shoe and field winding. So flux produced by each magnetic pole is equal to phi. That means phi is equal to flux per pole in Weber. The unit of flux is Weber. Phi is equal to flux per pole. Flux produced by one pole in Weber is equal to phi. Total number of armature conductors is equal to Z. Let Z is equal to total number of armature conductors. That means we know that armature consists of cylindrically shaped armature core. After that we are providing the slots on its outer periphery, and then after that we are providing the armature conductors or winding in these slots. So how can we calculate the total number of armature conductors? Number of armature slots into number of armature conductors per slot, we will get the total number of armature conductors. So armature is cylindrical in shape. Slots are provided on the outer periphery. After that we are providing the armature conductors in this slot. To calculate the total number of armature conductors, we have to multiply the number of armature slots with the number of conductors per slot. Thus we will get the total number of armature conductors. So phi is equal to flux produced by the magnetic pole of the stator of the DC generator is in Weber. Z is equal to total number of armature conductors, which can be found out by number of armature slots into number of conductors per slot. EMFification, you have to by heart it. Very important definition. P is equal to number of poles. P is equal to number of poles. In the earlier figure, in the last class, I have shown you the constructional feature of a DC generator, which consists of 4 magnetic poles. So don't think that there should be 4 number of poles in every DC generator. No. Any number of poles may be in a DC generator. Even number of poles should be in a DC generator. It should not be an odd number. Okay. So in that figure, there are only 4 different number of poles. Should be an even number. It should not be an odd number at any cost. So P is equal to number of poles. A is equal to number of parallel paths in armature. Capital letter A is equal to number of parallel paths in armature. So armature winding is provided in the slots of the armature core. There are 2 types of armature winding. I am introducing you. There are 2 types of armature winding: lap winding and wave winding. For more current, we have to use lap winding. For more voltage, we have to use wave winding. So lap winding and wave winding are entirely different. It's a separate topic. We can concentrate on this topic in the later class. So 2 types of armature windings are there. At least you have to understand armature windings are of 2 types: lap winding and wave winding. Okay. In the case of wave winding, number of armature parallel path is equal to 2, which is always fixed, always constant. A is equal to 2 in the case of wave winding. But in the case of lap winding, A is equal to P. A is equal to number of poles. A is equal to number of poles for lap winding. N is equal to speed in RPM. The generator speed in RPM, revolution per minute, is equal to N. Okay, N is equal to speed in RPM. That N divided by 60, we will get speed in RPS, revolution per second. Capital N is the speed in RPM, that means revolution per minute. So in order to get the speed in RPS, revolution per second, we have to divide n by 60. E is equal to EMF induced in the any parallel path of the armature. So there are two types of windings, lap winding and wave winding. If it is a lap winding, A is equal to P. A means number of armature parallel path is equal to number of poles. If it is a wave winding, number of armature parallel path A is equal to 2. Please understand, A is equal to 2 for wave winding, A is equal to P for lap winding. So EMF induced in any one parallel path in the armature is equal to capital E. Phi is equal to flux per pole, P is equal to number of poles, N is equal to capital N is equal to speed in RPM, small n is equal to speed in RPS, Z is equal to total number of armature conductors. In order to get the total number of armature conductors, what we have to do? Number of armature slots into number of conductors per slot. So based on the EMF equation, you have to do some problems. Okay, so please note this point. So E is equal to EMF induced in any one parallel path in the armature. Then how can we calculate the generated EMF? Generated EMF E suffix G generated EMF Eg is equal to average EMF generated per conductor. So generated EMF Eg is equal to average EMF generated per conductor. Average EMF generated per conductor is equal to d phi by dt, average EMF. That means according to Faraday's second law. What is Faraday's second law? You studied Faraday's first law and second law of electromagnetic induction in your first year class. What is it? Faraday's first law, it is very clear. Whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic flux, an EMF is induced in that conductor. What about second law? The magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. Okay, so rate of change of flux linkage is equal to average magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. So change in flux with respect to time, that means rate of change of flux linkage. Change in flux with respect to time, that means d phi by dt. So average EMF generated per conductor is equal to d phi by dt. Its unit is in volt, V, its unit is in volt. So how can we calculate d phi by dt? So that equation is as per Faraday's second law. The magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. That means change in flux d phi with respect to time dt. So how can we calculate d phi by dt? That we are going to concentrate. Flux cut per conductor in one revolution is equal to flux cut per conductor. So flux cuts the armature conductors. Flux cut per conductor in one revolution is equal to d phi, which is equal to phi p Weber, because p number of poles are there. Phi is the flux produced by one pole or per pole. Phi is the flux produced per pole, and total number of poles is equal to p. So total flux cut by a conductor or flux cut per conductor. Please understand, total flux cut by a conductor in one revolution is equal to phi into p, which is nothing but d phi is equal to phi p, its unit is Weber. So number of revolutions per second is equal to number of revolutions per second, small letter n, is equal to capital N by 60, where capital N is the speed in RPM. To get the speed in RPS, we have to divide n by 60. Okay, number of revolutions per second, n is equal to capital N by 60. So the machine is rotating at a capital N RPM. Capital N RPM means revolutions per minute. So time taken for n revolution is equal to 1 minute. Please understand, time taken for n revolution is equal to 1 minute. That means time taken for n revolution is equal to 60 seconds. So what about the time for one revolution is equal to 60 by n second. So the machine is rotating at a n RPM means, please understand, no need for a confusion. The machine is rotating at a capital N RPM. Capital N RPM means revolutions per minute. That means there are capital N number of revolutions for 1 minute. So time taken for n revolutions is equal to 1 minute. That means time taken for n revolutions is equal to 60 seconds. So time taken for one revolution is equal to 60 by n second. Clear? Because our machine is rotating at n RPM means n revolutions per minute. So time for n revolutions is equal to 1 minute. That means time for n revolutions is equal to 60 seconds. That means time for one revolution is equal to 60 by second. I think it is clear. Okay. So time for one revolution dt is equal to 60 by n seconds. Hence, according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, EMF generated per conductor is equal to d phi by dt. What is the meaning of this sentence? Hence, according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, EMF generated per conductor. It is nothing but Faraday's second law of electromagnetic induction. We studied that magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. Okay, according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, specifically we can say according to Faraday's second law of electromagnetic induction, magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. That means change in flux with respect to time, which is nothing but d phi by dt. So in order to calculate the EMF generated per conductor, we have to calculate d phi by dt. d phi is equal to total flux, d phi is equal to 5p Weber, dt is equal to 60 by n. So d phi by dt is equal to 5p divided by 60 by n. 5p divided by 60 by n is equal to 5pn by 60 volt. EMF generated per conductor, EMF generated in one conductor is equal to d phi by dt is equal to 5p divided by 60 by n. How we will get 5p? 5p is equal to 5 is the flux produced by one pole. There are p number of poles. So total flux cut by a conductor in one revolution is equal to 5p. Time taken for one revolution is equal to 60 by n. So we have to calculate the change in flux divided by change in time. That means d phi by dt is equal to 5p divided by 60 by n is equal to 5pn by 60 volt. This is the EMF generated per conductor. So please understand, there are so many conductors in a DC generator. This is not the final equation. This is the EMF generated per conductor of a DC generator. So we know that there are two types of armature winding, lap winding and wave winding. So we have to calculate the EMF for wave winding armature and lap winding armature separately. First of all, we are going to concentrate on wave winding armature. For a wave wound generator, number of armature parallel path is equal to 2, which is always fixed. For a wave wound, there are two types of armature winding, lap winding and wave winding. First of all, we are discussing about wave winding. Wave wound generator, capital A is equal to number of armature parallel path is equal to 2. So number of conductors in one parallel path is equal to, so totally set conductors are there. Total parallel paths are 2. So number of conductors per parallel path is equal to set by 2. Number of conductors per parallel path is equal to set by 2. Okay. So total number of parallel paths in a wave wound generator is equal to 2. Total number of conductors is represented as Z. So number of conductors in one parallel path is equal to Z by 2. So how can we calculate the EMF generated per path? So EMF generated per conductor is equal to 5pn by 60. EMF generated per path is equal to 5pn by 60 into Z by 2. Okay, EMF generated per path, because in a path there are Z by 2 conductors. EMF generated in a conductor or per conductor is equal to 5pn by 60. In one path there are Z by 2 conductors. So total EMF generated per path is equal to 5pn by 60 into Z by 2, which is equal to 5ZnP by 120. Clear? EMF generated in one conductor is equal to 5pn by 60. In a parallel path there are Z by 2 conductors. So EMF generated in a path is equal to, that means EMF generated in the whole conductors of one path is equal to, whole conductors in one path is equal to 5pn by 60 into Z by 2 is equal to 5ZnP by 120 volt. This is the case of a wave wound generator. So what about lap wound generator? For a lap wound generator, A is equal to P. So number of conductors in one parallel path is equal to Z by P, because P parallel paths are there. In a lap wound generator, P parallel paths are there. P number of poles, which is equal to A. So P parallel paths are there. So number of conductors in one parallel path as far as lap winding is concerned is equal to Z by P. Totally Z conductors are there. If it is a lap winding, there are P number of parallel paths. Therefore, number of conductors in one parallel path is equal to, it is very clear, Z by P. Whereas in the case of winding, it is Z by 2, because in the case of wave winding there are 2 parallel paths. In the case of lap winding there are P parallel paths. So number of conductors per parallel path is equal to Z by P. So we studied that average EMF generated per conductor is equal to 5pn by 60. So EMF generated per path is equal to 5pn by 60 into Z by P is equal to 5Zn by 60 is equal to 5pn by 60 into Z by P. P cancelled, so 5Zn by 60 volt. In general, generated EMF in a DC generator is equal to 5Zn by phi Zn P by 60A or phi Zn by 60 into P by A, both are same. Phi Zn by 60 into P by A, which is nothing but phi Zn P by 60A. So don't forget that A is equal to 2 for wave one generator, A is equal to P for lap one generator. So the general expression of the EMF induced or EMF generated in a DC generator is equal to phi Zn by 60 into P by A. Okay, in the case of wave winding, substitute A is equal to 2. In the case of lap winding, substitute A is equal to P. Then you get specific equations for EMF generated in the lap connected winding, EMF generated in the wave connected winding. Okay, so in general, generated EMF in a DC generator is equal to phi Zn P by 60A. Okay. So this is the EMF equation of a DC generator, phi Zn by 60 into P by A or phi Zn P by 60A. Okay, I think it is clear.